And welcome to tonight's semifinal number 2, featuring the Cougars of Averett University as the number 1 seed from the East and the number 2 seed from the West, the Huntingdon College Hawks. I'm Joseph Swanson, joined tonight by Corey Baldwin. Welcome, Corey.
Thank you.
Corey will be joining me here for this one, as we'll be bringing you the coverage here of tonight's second semifinal. Teams are lining up. Looks like we're going to get into starting lineups here. So I'll let Corey go off here with the Huntingdon College Hawks starting lineup, featuring Conference Player of the Year and number 23 number 23 Amy Tima. So Corey will let you know about those, and then we'll come back and we'll let you know about the Averett University Cougar starters.
So the starters for tonight for Huntingdon, we have number 5 Ashley Murphy, the sophomore. Number 6, Addison Jannard, the junior. Number 7, April Reese, a senior. Number 12, Shelby McAllister, junior. 13, Lexi DeVest, senior. Number 23, Amy Tima, a junior. And number 24, Morgan Ilsley, the freshman.
So Ilsley, I believe, was a first-team all-conference player, first-team all-West Division II as well. So Huntingdon, I believe, had 3 all-conference players, and then we'll switch over here to the Averett side. As they're just reading off the stars for Huntingdon now, but we'll go off with Averett here. Michael Patterson will get the start at Liberos Jr. out of Ridgeway, Virginia. Number 1, Lauren Matron, Freshman of the Year. Number 3 will get the start. Mackenzie Miller, number 5, a junior from Danville, Virginia. She'll get the start at setter tonight, second-team East Division. Sarah Shropshire, number 6, she'll get the start at outside hitter, a sophomore out of Wilmington, North Carolina. Second-team East Division as well. Freshman, number 15, Morgan Barnes, will get the start at middle, along with her fellow middle hitter, senior, number 18, Madison Dedez, who finished first-team all-conference on the East Division. And we'll end things off here with the sophomore outside hitter, number 23, Zamaya Mangum. So a lot of highly talented players here, with 4 from Averett making the all-conference team. Matron winning Freshman of the Year. And then switching over to the Huntingdon side, I believe they had 3 or 4 as well on the all-conference team, including Player of the Year tonight. So arguably 2 of the best players in the conference tonight going to face off in Matron and Tima. So it should be a good battle here, as I believe Huntingdon comes in on the night 23-14. Well, Averett, I believe, was 17-15 or 18-15 on the year. So very evenly matched teams. Averett 13-12 overall in the conference, while Huntingdon finished at 11-3. So anticipating a high matchup here between the number 2 Hawks and the number 1 Cougars. What are your thoughts, Corey, heading into this one?
Like you said, this would definitely be a good one. Number 1 on this side for Averett and number 2 on the other side for Huntingdon. I see a lot of competing, and like I've always been told, the team with the most energy is most likely to come out with the victory.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Having done a lot of the stats this year for the Cougars, they're a team that, if they fight and battle through points, oftentimes come out victorious. Haven't seen a whole lot of the Hawks where they're on the west side of the division, but do have Conference Player of the Year, as we mentioned, so several highly talented players over there as well. Very young team. I think I count only 3 seniors, so Averett a young team as well. Big step up this year from Shropshire, number 6, out most of last year due to an illness, so good to see her come back and start playing well. Miller at setter, she's an all-conference caliber player, so we'll see how this one goes. Looks like we're going to be getting ready for first serve here from the Grant Center. Waiting on to figure out who will have first serve here, as the Liberos check into the game here for both squads. Lexi DeVust will get the start at libero for the Hawks. Michael Patterson, as it will be first serve here for Huntingdon. I believe that number 24, Morgan Ilsley, back. She'll serve it over. Dug out by Matron. It's going to be swung on by Barnes. Good dig there in the back line there by Reese. It's going to be swung on there by Tima. They're going to get a blocking error there on, I believe it was Barnes calling in the net. So that will go down as a 1-0 lead here for the Hawks. It is Ilsley back to serve. Ilsley serve, up, over. That's going to sail just wide of the back line. Tried to place it in. Good job there by Shropshire to watch that one all the way down there, Corey.
Yeah, and that goes all back to practice. Practice make perfect. And seeing by that, you can tell they practice that a lot.
Miller back to serve. Sends it on, dug out by Reese. It's going to be pushed over by the Hawks. Patterson with the dig. Swung on by Shropshire. Be tipped at the line. Going to be swung on there by, I believe it was number 6, Gennard. Swung on by Matrin, and that will go down as a kill for Matrin. Good job there by the Cougars to get the ball out there to freshman of the year. Very balanced attack for Averett as Miller will serve here, leading 2-1 over the Hawks. Dug out there by DeVust. Swung on by Reese. Patterson with the dig. Pushed over to Matrin. That's going to be contained there by the Hawks. They'll force that one over as a free ball, but that's going to go down as a ball handling error there, I believe, for I think it was Tima that tried to push that over number 23, but it landed out of bounds. So Averett up 3-1 here with Miller serving.
Yeah, and I think that play was caused by a lack of communication as the serve was over from Miller.
Swung on by Tima, dug out there by Mangum. Is going to go back over. Good job there by Averett to stay alive. Swung in the tip there. Barnes is going to swing. It's going to stay on the Cougars side of the net. Matrin's going to serve back over. Dug out there by Reese. Forced over to Tima, and she'll put that down for the kill for the Hawks. Pull back here within 3-2. She'll head back to serve here. Good ball movement there by the Hawks. Good job, though, early by Mangum to dig that out as Tima put a great swing on that ball. As that's going to bounce just off the top of the net and stay on the Hawks side. It's going to go down as a service error. Matrin will head back here for the Cougars, up 4-2 early in this set. Matrin serve, sails just far of the line, giving the ball back to the Hawks. As it looks like Taylor Wright, the senior middle hitter out of Atlanta, Georgia, is going to check in here for the Hawks. I believe that's Gennard back to serve. She'll send that one just long as well. Nearly fell in there, but good job by the Cougars to stay disciplined and read that out. As that will bring in the senior defensive specialist for the Cougars as Harper Scola will check in. She'll head back to serve. Averett leading 5-3 here early in set 1. Dug out there by Tima. That's going to be an attack, but a great block there by Shropshire and Dedez. Way to read that as Shelby McAllister put a good swing on it, but Shropshire and Dedez able to combine for the block.
And that front line of Averett always making things happen for the team. Love to see it.
Swung on by Tima. As that's going to find the bottom of the net from the back row. Thought she caught the Cougars out of rotation a little bit there as Barnes will check back in here. And it looks like Michaela Clements checks in here for the Hawks. Looks like it's Ashley Murphy back to serve for Huntington. Serves up and over. Dug out by Matrin. Over to Dedez. Good dig there by McAllister. She was able to keep that going, and the Hawks are going to pick up the point there. They'll pull within 6-5. Great job there by McAllister, because when Dedez swung, I thought it might be down for a second there, but a good pancake dig. Murphy's serve is up. As that sails just follow the line. Gives Averett back the lead at 7-5, as that's going to bring in Meg Hopkins, the freshman, for the Cougars. Hopkins, as I mentioned, a freshman out of Matthews, North Carolina.
Excuse me, but she's been playing really good.
She has.
Mackenzie was out a number of games, and she stepped up big for the team.
She did, as that serve sails just out left of the line back there. That's going to give Huntington back the ball here. Averett leads 7-6. Reese's serve. High arc and serve, dug out by Barnes. It's going to be tipped over by Mangum. Good job there by Tima. It's going to be swung on there by McAllister. Good job by Patterson in the back row as Mangum's going to send that free ball over. Job by the Cougars to stay alive. As that's going to be a good kill there by Tima. Perfect setup, good swing, and found nothing but hardwood there. That's going to even the match here at 7-7. That's their go-to recipe over there for the Hawks. This team is one of the top player in the conference this year. As Reese delivers that over, tips off the net. Cougars able to keep that alive, send it back over. Set up there for Clements. Averett stays alive. Good dig there. Montre on the back row, able to hold that in. Swing by the Dez. Tipped out by Murphy. Swung over. As that's going to go down as 4 hits there. Averett unable to really get that ball up and do anything with it. As Honey will take their second lead of the night after leading 1-0 early. They'll take an 8-7 lead here. Reese back to serve. High arc and serve. Dug out by Barnes. Hopkins swung on by the Dez. That will even it up here at 8-8. Miller electing to go to the senior there. Oh, whoops. It looks like they called that out of bounds. Reese back to serve. Dug out by Patterson. That's going to be over there. Job staying alive. Swung on by Tima. Good job by Patterson there to maintain that one. Swung on by Mangum. That's going to go down as a kill for Mangum. That was all started by the play of Patterson there, being in position to dig that out from Tima.
And I agree. And as you can hear the crowd in the background bringing the energy, hopefully Averett can feed off this energy and get back into this game.
You see a lot of the football team over there as Mangum's serve heads over. Dug out by DeVust. Swung on by I believe that was Tima. So that will go down as a kill for her. As that will bring Ilsley back in the match here. DeVust back to serve here for the Hawks, leading 10-9, or 10-8, excuse me. Dug out by Patterson. Swung on by the Dez. Good swing there by the Dez. Perfect set there from Miller. Pulls the Cougars back within 10-9 now. Patterson back to serve. Big set one here. Patterson serve. Dug out by Reese. That's going to be punched over, managed to stay alive. Going to be forced over to Montre, and she's going to swing. That's going to go down as it looked like a block there for, I believe it was Gennard and Ilsley, I believe, combined on that block, as Ilsley will now go back to serve up 11-9.
And despite Averett not able to get to it, that was Hopkins with the hustle, trying to get back there.
As that's going to go down as a service ace there for Ilsley. They were targeting Patterson as well. It looks like Coach Miller is going to elect to call a timeout here. We're going to head to commercial break. When we come back, we'll have the rest of the semifinal matchup between Huntingdon and Averett when we return. And welcome back. As Huntingdon currently leads Averett 12-9 here, midway through set number 1. Hawks do have serve currently. As Ilsley will head back here. Ilsley serve, dug out there by Mangum, pushed over to Barnes, she'll swing and that will go down as a kill. Good job there hitting into the block and getting a little bit of a bounce that bounced out of bounds. Averett favored there as Cougars will send Miller back. Definitely who you want back serving if you're Averett right now, trailing 12-10. Miller's serve, dug out by Reese, set by Tima. That's probably going to go down as a set error if I had to guess down there on Tima. There's nobody really got a play on it, unless they do rule it an ace potentially, as it will go back to Miller here, down 12-11. Sends it to Reese, forced out to Tima, and that's going to be kept in the Huntington side. Swung on, continued again. Swing by Reese, and that's going to land in the net. Good job there by the Averett block to keep that possession on Huntington's side, and even this matchup here at 12-12.
Yes, and that was the two freshmen right there, Morgan Barnes and Lauren Montran.
As Miller's serve goes over, handled by Reese, pushed out to Tima. That will be dug out by Miller, tacked by Barnes. Tima again, and she'll find Hardwood. Seems to be the go-to there for the Hawks, as Tima rotates all the way around between left side, right side, and the middle, as she'll head back now to serve. Her team up 13-12. Dug out there by Mangum. Sent over from Montran. Be dug out there by DeVust. Swung on by Gennard. That will go over the net. It looked like Murphy was able to contain that and put it down for a kill. Hawks now 14-12 lead. Tima back to serve. Sends that up. Turned by Patterson, forced out to Shropshire. Great dig there by DeVust. Swung on there in the middle by Gennard, as that will go down as a kill for the Hawks. They take a 15-12 lead. Tima back to serve still. She'll push that to Patterson, set by Miller. Over to Montran, and that will go down as a kill for freshman Montran.
And that was very much needed here for this Averett team.
Very much needed there, yes. As Montran will head back to serve here. Averett trailing 15-13 here. Dug out there by Tima. Bump set, dug out again by Montran. Forced over to Shropshire, as that's going to sail just a little bit long. Almost had the tip there at the net, but not enough favor there. As Clements will check, or I believe that's actually Wright will check back in here for the Hawks. I believe that's Gennard back to serve here. As that will go down as an ace, receiving error this year to Patterson, as the Hawks will take a 17-13 lead here. Gennard back to serve again. Dig out by Mangum. Pushed over to Mangum. Mangum swings. That's going to be a great dig by Patterson to keep that alive. Pushed over by Montran. Swung on by McAllister. Mangum swings over, gets the tip to fall. Good job there by Averett to stay alive, keep the play alive, and managed to pick up the point there.
And that was a smart play by Mangum, knowing she's a power hitter, able to get the soft tip, to catch the defense off guard and getting the point for your Cougars.
I agree. As Scolo checks back in, her serve. We'll head to DeVust, because it's going to be a free ball there over. Swung on by Shropshire, just down ahead of Tima there. Good job there by Shropshire, as when she gets a good set and is able to go up and get it, she's hard to beat. Scolo back to serve. Averett trailing 17-15. Sent back, dug out by Tima. Swung on by Reese, as the back judge is going to call that one in. That will go down as a kill for the Hawks, as Murphy will check back in, as well as Clements for Huntington, and Barnes will check back in for the Cougars. Murphy will head back to serve here. Sophomore out of Moscow, Idaho. Huntington up 18-15. They're going to call that a ball handling error, I believe, or set error, excuse me, on Miller. She tried to pull it back in, but not much luck there. Did everything she could do to try to set that ball.
She did. But at these moments, they cannot afford that to happen. That's a great eye by the Averett Cougars to see that serve was a little long.
As Hopkins will check back in here. Need a big run here from the freshman, trailing 19-16. The Cougars are. Hopkins serve, dug out there by Reese. Swung on by Reese. Good tip block there, dug out by Patterson. Swung on by Matrin. That's going to fall just out of the reach. Reese did a good job there getting up to tip that, but nobody in position to dig that back out, so that will go down as a kill there for Matrin. As the Cougars will retain serve here, Hopkins back. As that's going to sail just long. I don't know if you're Coach Miller right now, those situations you really want to try to put that in court, give yourself a chance to play. As Averett trails 20-17 now with Reese back to serve for the Hawks. Dug out by Patterson. To the middle to Dedez, and that's kill for Dedez. Good read there from Miller. Seeing the middle had a wide open lane. Got over the ball, and the senior put it down. Mangum back to serve here for the Cougars. Trailing 20-18. That one's going to be hit into the net. Ilsley will check back in here for the Hawks. DeVos will head back to serve. As that's going to be a timeout for the Cougars. We'll take a brief break. When we come back, we'll have the conclusion to set one here from the Grant Center at Averett University.
On and off the court, we're focused on creating lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. More college athletes are earning degrees than ever before, but we've still got work to do. That's why we're raising the bar for incoming freshmen, so they're prepared when they get to campus. And why teams can't play in championships unless they make the grade. Education matters, and putting academics first creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity.
And welcome back to the Grant Center here on the campus of Averett University. Averett trails Huntingdon currently 21-18 here late in set one. Cougars need a big run here late to try to even this up.
And if they take out those service errors, I believe they'll be in this game.
Yeah, a lot of unforced errors here by the Cougars. Huntingdon, a very skilled team right now, as they've really limited the mental mistakes. Not too many service errors and not too many hitting errors. As this is going to be sent over by DeVusk. Dug out by Mangum. Pushed over to Matrin. She'll swing. Good job by DeVusk to dig that out. As Timo will swing on that, and that will go down there as a block for Miller and Dedez. Good job there by the veterans to read that and get over in time to send that one back. Big point there by the Cougars. That will send Patterson back to serve. Averett trailing 21-19. Patterson serve, dug out by Reese. That's going to go down, I believe, as a ball handling error there on Ilsley. Did all she could do, had a layout, tried to get it back up, but a tough break there. Patterson back, trailing 21-20. Serve from Patterson. Dug out by Tima. Tacked by Reese. Mangum picks up the dig. Sent over to Matrin. She'll swing and put it down.
And if you're a Cougars fan, I'm sure you are enjoying this right here as they are able to get back and tie this game up 21-21 here in the first set.
Good job there by Averett. We'll stay with you as Huntingdon calls a timeout after being up 21-18. Good timeout there call, it looks like, for Miller, as trailing by 3 points. His teams come back to get back-to-back kills, back-to-back. Well, I think they had 2 kills and a block, so good job by them to rebound, tie this match up 21-21. What are your thoughts so far through this one, Corey?
My thoughts for your Cougars, I just feel like we just limit the errors. I believe they could get this first set. And as far as Huntingdon, they are a good team, and I can see why they were number 2 in their division. And they don't have many errors either. So
yeah, very solid team for Huntingdon so far. For first look for us, I know that not many unforced errors, and I know you ask a lot of coaches, a lot of volleyball experts, the less unforced errors you have, the better chance you got to win.
And you are correct.
As serve will be retained here by Averett. Patterson back for the Cougars. They'll be dug out there by Reese, set by Ilsley. Pushed it over to Tima. Good job there by Hopkins to read that. Swung on by Matrin, and that will be another kill for the freshman. She's been crucial for the Cougars in clutch moments. I know Coach Mackenzie Miller, the setter for the Cougars, opting to go to her a lot late. as Patterson will be serving here, up 21 or 22-20. Dug out by Tima, set by Ilsley. Be attacked on by Reese. Good job there by Patterson. Be attacked there by Miller. Job good by Tima to reset and get it over. And Barnes going to put that one down for a kill. Put the Cougars up 23-21. Good job there by Tima, though, over there for Huntington as play was breaking down. Managed to get it back over. Allow her team to play another set, but better job over here by the Cougars to get a clean look at it and allow Barnes to set it up. Serve here from Patterson. Dug out by Reese. As that's going to be a free ball over there from Reese. Barnes sent over to Montran. That probably be issued to a set error from Miller as a tough set there for Montran to do anything of it. Either mistime the jump or a little too close to the net to get a swing on it. So that will pull Huntington back within 23-22 as I believe that's Ilsley will serve. Dug out there by Montran. Forced over to Barnes and be a continuation. Good job there to maintain possession as Hopkins sends it back over for the Cougars. Swung on there by Gennard. Stay over. Hawks force it back over. A good attack there by Miller. She's done that a lot this year. Got that backhand set attack and very sneaky with that as she forces that in. That's going to force set point here for the Cougars here in set one. Averett's up 24-22. Cougars able to come back down 21-18 as Shropshire checks back in for the Cougars. Miller back to serve. Sends it over. Dug out by Reese. Tima puts that one down. Good swing there by the Conference Player of the Year in Tima as she pulls this one within one at 24-23. Averett looking to hang on to this one. Any miscue will force the Cougars to win the set. Dug out there by Patterson, but that's going to even the set here as that was unable to be set at 24-24. Good job there by the Hawks as the veterans come up big here in Tima, pulling her team back within 24-24 as she'll send the serve over. Dug out by Patterson, that's going to go over. Attacked there by Reese. Montran puts a swing on it. Dug out there by DeVusk. And that's going to be a swing there, I believe, for Reese, as that will go down as a point. Huntington will regain the lead here at 25-24. First team to two here. For those of you following, will win this set. Or first team to gain a 2-point lead will win this set. That's going to be sent over to Mangum. Attacked there by Miller, evens it back up 25-25.
And that Miller, she's a very smart player. As you've seen, if you're watching a couple plays before, she hit the back tip, and she just finds open spots in the defense, and she makes it happen.
As Montran's back to serve here for the Cougars. Sends that. Dug out by Tima. Hit to the middle, and that's going to sail just long for Gennard. Cougars getting the break there. As it looks like Huntington's going to elect to take their second timeout of the quarter. Both teams out of timeouts now. Averett leading 26-25. We'll stay with you to discuss this one as we got a tightly contested set one back and forth throughout this opening frame as neither team really able to gain much of a lead. Huntington getting up by a couple points, Averett going up, and then both teams battling back as you can see the veteran presence out there as Cougars get down. They oftentimes go back to Miller or to Dez or even over to the freshman in Montran. And then on the other side with Huntington, strictly get the ball to Tima and let her work. And she's come through big throughout this opening set as you can definitely see why she earned Conference Player of the Year this year.
I concur.
Huntington running several setters throughout this one as Ilsley's been in most of the time, but Murphy checking in as well. So very, very skilled at the setter position as Montran will head back for the set now, or for the serve, excuse me. Her team up 26-25. A point here for the Cougars will take the opening set.
And like you said earlier, this first set is a very big set.
As that's going to sail just wide, even the match here again at 26-26. As that will send Gennard back to serve. And I believe that's Taylor Wright will check back in here for the Hawks.
And like I was saying earlier, it's just errors. The amount of errors, I believe, is going to be the outcome of this game.
That's going to be dug out there by Mangum. She'll swing on it. Dug out there by Gennard. Over to Reese. As that's going to be tipped off the block and go down there as a kill for the Hawks. They'll take a 27-26 advantage. Cougars looking to hang on here. Even it back to 27-26. Hunting needing 1 point here to take the opening frame. As that's going to sail just long there for Gennard.
And that's a great eye by the back line of Averett Cougars, because I know in clutch moments you want to be a hero, and try to make a play, but that's a great eye and way to be disciplined by Averett.
Scolo checks in. She'll head back to serve here for the Cougars. Be dug out by Team. A good job there by Ilsley to keep it alive and go back over. As Shropshire put a swing on it, dug out by DeVos. As that will stay. Almost bounced over to the Cougars' side of the net, but Huntingdon unable to put a set on that as the ball managed to find the court. Scolo back serving, set point here. Averett up 28-27 as that's going to sail long as well. A lot of unforced errors here late. Neither team really being able to take a hold and take the match so far. As Barnes will check in here for the Cougars. Murphy and Clements check back in for the Hawks. Murphy will head back to serve. Game set tied 28-28. Neither team really able to take a 2-point advantage here. That's going to be dug out by Matron. Forced over to Shropshire. As they're going to call, looks like they're going to call that one out. Coach Miller yelling at his team to hang on here, down 29-28. Good swing though by Shropshire, just landed out of bounds. As that will be served by Murphy, dug out by Matron. Forced over to Dedez, and she'll put that in just ahead of the back line to even it at 29-29. Hopkins will check back in for the Cougars, head back to serve.
And that's the senior Dedez, just being a senior, being a leader, and making big plays here for your Averett Cougars.
You can see why she was first team All East Division. So it can be sent over to Reese. She'll get the swing, and she'll put that down just ahead of the dive of Hopkins.
And Reese for Huntingdon, the senior, I can say the same thing on her end. Just being a senior, that leadership role and making big plays for her team.
Reese gets the serve here, sent over, dug out by Hopkins. Swung on by Dedez. Good dig there by DeVust. As that's going to be swung on by Tima. Great job by Matron to keep that alive. As Mangum will put that down just in front of DeVos. She was able to dig it out, but send it back into the net. Good job hanging alive there, though, but that will go down as a kill for Mangum, as a lot of us know, seeing her at home, very hard hitter.
Very hard hitter.
As Mangum will go back to serve here for the Cougars. Sent over, dug out there by Reese. Forced over to Reese. She'll attack it. Matron recovers there in the middle. Swung on by Dedez. That will go down as a point there for the Cougars. This has been the theme throughout the last several points. Both teams being able to get that 1-point advantage, but let's see if the Cougars can hang on here and keep from an unforced error as Mangum will serve. Set point dug out there by Tima. As that will be swung on and sent long just for Clements. As Averett will hang on to pick up a thrilling 32-30 set one victory. As those of you watching at home, this had all you could ask for in an opening set between two highly skilled teams. Hopefully we'll get some stats here in a couple of minutes. It'll be interesting to see what we ended with there for both teams. But Cora, what are your thoughts here after the opening set?
Man, what a thriller is what I can say. Both teams showing why they are in the top of their conference. And on both teams, the leadership roles, you can see who are the leaders and who are in the big positions for their team. And what I can say is just a thriller. Glad to be here.
Yeah, as you talked about, great to see that you can see the veteran leadership in both teams, as April Reese coming up big for her team late. And then, of course, you got Amy Tima, who speaks for herself with Conference Player of the Year, as we mentioned, coming up big late. But then Dedez on the other side for the Cougars, and even Mackenzie Miller, a junior setter, able to distribute that ball. Really does move it around well, going between 2 or 3, sometimes 4 or 5 different players out there. And we talked about Hopkins coming off the bench. She's played well as of late for the Cougars, getting the start at setter throughout the end of the year. So good to see her coming in, picking up a couple big digs there late. So looks like we're just getting some first set stats. We'll go over those with you a little bit here, but both teams hitting over 200 for the opening set, so that's what you want to see as a coach. Huntingdon coming just in at the 200 mark, while Averett hitting 273. So your Coach Miller, you're very happy with the way the Cougars are swinging the ball early, or swinging at the ball early. Amy Tima for Huntingdon, currently 7 kills on only 2 errors, hitting 294 from the outside. So good job out there from the outside. And then on the opposite side, in April Reese, 4 kills with 1 error. And Ashley Murphy leading the team right now with 8 assists. And Lexi DeBrusque with 8 digs. And flipping over here to the Cougars side of the ball, 2-1 block advantage right now. Kind of played a big factor in that set with a 2-point game. But Montran leads the team right now, 5 kills and 1 error, hitting .333. Miller with her 2 big kills in that middle of the set to keep the game close. And then Madison Dedez coming up big for the Cougars. She's got 4 kills on 1 error, hitting .375. And then Mangum, 3 kills, hitting .500. So Mackenzie Miller, 13 assists, and then even across the digs now with Mangum and Patterson, each with 6. So very balanced attack for the Cougars. And then you got Tima and the Reese show on the other side for Huntingdon as they're playing very well as well.
And one more thing I'll say about our Averett Cougars is just the unforced errors. If they find a way to limit those, I believe they wouldn't have even been in that position in the beginning. But the credit, Huntingdon, very good team, very well coached.
As it looks like we're getting ready here to start set 2. Referees checking lineups now. As it should be the Cougars serve. I have to guess it will be Mackenzie Miller heading back for Averett, as she's usually first in the rotation for the Cougars. As Dedez will check out, as Patterson will come in at libero. It will be Barnes, Shropshire, Montran, Patterson, Mangum, and Miller for the Cougars. And same starters for the Hawks. That's sent over by Miller, dug out by Reese, swung on by Tima. Good job by the Mangum, but just served it back in the net. That will go down as a kill by Tima there. They'll take a 1-0 advantage here early, as that will send Ilsley back to serve. Ilsley serve, dug out by Mangum. Set over from Montran, and she'll take a swing. And that will send just wide of the net. Hawks will take a 2-0 advantage here. Ilsley back to serve. Freshman serve attempt up, dug out by Mangum. Sent into the middle by Barnes. Great athletic play there by Barnes, as it looked like she just mistimed the jump, but able to put the left fingertips on it and tip it over the block for a point. As Montran will go back to serve here for the Cougars. A little luck of the bounce there for the Cougars. Montran serve, dug out by Reese. Sent to Tima in the middle, and she'll put that down. Kind of hard to dig that one out when you can get a perfect set right up in the middle and nothing but floor.
Nothing but floor.
Very talented player there, as Tima heads back now for the serve, up 3-1. Dug out there by Patterson. Swung on by Barnes. Good dig there by Isley. And that'll be pushed over by Reese. Shropshire will send it over for the Cougars. And that's going to find the net, as Ilsley thought it was going to land out of bounds. Probably a 50-50 ball if you look at it. Probably half the ball on, half the ball off. But good job there by Shropshire to manage to keep that in. As Scolo will check in here for the Cougars, head back to serve. Kind of an unlucky break there for the Hawks. If you're Averett, you got to feel pretty happy about that, as that nearly tipped over the net and went over, but another unforced error here for the Cougars, as that gives the Hawks back a 2-point lead at 4-2. That will check Barnes back into the game for the Cougars. She'll swap out for Patterson at libero. As it looks like Gennard will be back to serve here for the Hawks. Dug out by Mangum, set by Dedez. Going to get an overpass here from the Cougars. Good job staying alive there. Set by Isley, sent over to Reese. Montran managed to dig. Attack attempt there by Miller. Great job there again. I believe that's 3 kills now for her, as Hopkins will check in now for the Cougars. She'll head back to serve. Great job there in the middle of the court, though, by Montran. Managed to read that attack, and then Miller, reading the defense, put that through. That's going to be sent over, dug out by Reese, contained by Tima. It'll be an overpass here for the Hawks. Swung on by Dedez, tip block there. Dug out by DeBrusque. It'll be pushed over by the Hawks, but I think they're going to get Taylor Wright being in the net there, as she tipped the net trying to make the attack. So that's going to even the match here at 4-4 with Hopkins back to serve. Crowd filling up here for the Cougars. Reese on the dig, sent over here to McAllister. That's going to go down for down as a dig or a kill for McAllister, excuse me. As Murphy and Clements will check in here for the Hawks. Murphy goes back to serve. Tough play there for Hopkins. Managed to get a finger on it, but nobody around at the time to help with the second touch. Murphy served, dug out by Hopkins. Sent over to the Dez. She'll tip it over. Good job there by Murphy to recover. Swung on by McAllister. Tip block at the top. Dug out by Matrin. Sent over to Mangum. That's a big swing by Mangum there. Two hard hitters for both teams is Mangum and Tima. Both very equivalent in how hard they can hit the ball.
Yeah, now if I'm a Cougar, I love to see Mangum getting it going, as she's a very powerful hitter for her team.
Mangum on the serve, dug out by Tima. Be Reese on the attack. That will be dug out by the Cougars back over, as that will be sent over there by the Hawks. Swing here from Matrin. Good job there by Tima to dig that out. Forced over to McAllister. Matrin's hanging around for that. Fight at the net. Swung on by Dez. Now will go down as a kill. Good job there. Both teams scrum at the net. Both teams fighting over it. But Dez, the veteran there, ball hung up long enough and she was able to put it down. Averett's going to take a 6-5 lead here. Mangum will go back again to serve. She'll send it over. Short serve. Dug out by Reese. Set by Tima. Swung on by Clements. As nearly hit off the tip there by the Cougars, but managed to send long. And it looks like Huntington's going to elect to take a timeout here as they now trail 7-5. Avery getting a little bit momentum here, but definitely another highly contested second set, as this one is probably going to go down to the wire as well. We're going to take a brief break. When we come back, we'll have the rest of the second half action.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
And welcome back. For those that you can see over in the far left corner of your screen, the Averett student athletes and student base over there doing the cha-cha slide. Getting a little energy going here in the Grant Center. I know Averett Athletics Director Meg Stevens loves to see that energy brought from her student athletes, as Mangum is going to be back now serving for the Cougars, up 7-5. Mangum served, dug out by Reese. Pushed to the middle, and Clements. Good job there by Mangum as Dez forced that back over. Swung on by Reese. And Patterson with a nice dig there. It's going to be swung on by Matrin. Murphy managed to keep that alive. He's going to get the overpass there. Swung on hard by Matrin. Good job there by DeVos to keep that alive. Swing attempt by McAllister. Dug out by Patterson. Forced over here to Matrin. She'll put that down. That will give the Cougars an 8-5 lead. Great job there by both teams. Great defensive effort from both squads. Managing to lay out several times to keep that point alive. And Averett managing to capitalize there with Matrin as Mangum's serve goes over to Reese. Push to the middle to Reese again. Dug out by Mangum. That will be... Looks like Miller laid out to get that, but Averett unable to capitalize on it, as that will go down as a kill for the Hawks. That will send Reese back to serve now.
And that was a great hustle by Averett Cougars, despite them not being able to get that one.
Dug out by Patterson. Attack attempt by Dez. Dug out there in the back row by Reese, as Timo swing on that, and she puts it just off the hands of Hopkins there. Almost did a split there in the middle of the court to try to keep that alive, but good job there by the junior for Huntington to put that down. That will pull the Hawks back within 8-7 of the Cougars. Reese's serve. Dug out by Mangum. Swung on by Dez. That's going to go down as a dig from Murphy. Back over. Montreal will pick up the attempt there as she'll swing. Continuation. Good job by the Hawks as Miller will send that over. Swing attempt there by Tima. Good job by Patterson to stay alive as Montreal will pick that up. Diving attempt, dig attempt there by Reese. That'll be sent over by Tima. Swing attempt in the middle there by Dedez. Reese recovers. Sent over to Clements as that will go down as I believe they're going to say she hit that in the net, so it would be 4 attempts. So it won't go down as a block for the Cougars, but good job there by the block to put pressure on Clements as that will extend the lead back to 9-7 for the Cougars. Patterson back to serve. Another hard-fought point there. Patterson serve attempt, dug out by Reese. Set by Murphy. There's going to be a free ball attempt here. Swing on by Barnes. That will be a big swing for the freshman there from Miller. Patterson will go back to serve again. Barnes starting to get in on the action now. Dug out by Reese. Pushed over to Tima. Good job there by Manga to be in position. Set by Matrin. Attack attempt by Miller. Good job there by Reese in the back row to save that one as Clements will send it over. Over to Matrin. Good job again by Reese. Really battling there as Tima will swing at that one. It looks like she just missed it as had some wide open court there in front of her, but got to applaud the effort there of April Reese in the back row. Patterson back to serve again here for the Cougars, up 11-7. Serve goes to Reese, set by Murphy, over by McAllister, dug out by, I believe it was Hopkins, and then an attack attempt by Barnes on the slide middle hit there. As that's going to go down as a timeout here for Huntington. They find themselves down 12-7 here, early midway through the second set. Definitely not over, but if you're Coach Miller, you got to be happy from his team's energy coming out here early in the second set, going up 12-7. And if you're Huntington, I'm sure she's probably just telling her team, hey, stick with what you do best.
Keep playing.
Keep playing hard. The attack attempts are there. A couple of unforced errors, but nothing you can't come back from here.
Yeah, like I was saying, for the Cougars, as in the first set, as you've seen, they had a lot of unforced errors. And in this set, it's not that many. Like I was saying, if they limit down the unforced errors, it'll be a different ballgame.
I agree. I know if you talk to Coach Miller about that, it's kind of been a theme this year for the Cougars, but I know as any coach, anytime in any sport, you limit down your unforced errors, you put yourself in a better position to play, or a better position to win, excuse me. So, I mean, you look at a lot of sports, especially for baseball, basketball, you're going to have missed shots, but I mean, you pick up fouls late in games, forced free throws. Those are the things that tend to put you down on the scoreboard. I know you being a men's basketball player, those come back, and then me playing baseball in college, errors are going to happen, but mental errors are some things you want to eliminate. So good to see both teams battling throughout this set as Patterson will get the service attempt here for the Cougars. Averett up 12-7 here in set 2. That's going to be dug out by Reese in the back row. Looks like they're going to get a ball handling there on Murphy, I believe. That is ref holding up 2 fingers to signal a double touch. As Averett will go up 13-7 here. Patterson serving. Sent back to Reese. Set up for McAllister. As that will just get over the block of the Cougars. Favorable bounce there by Averett as it sailed out of bounds. They'll take a 14-7 lead there. A lot of times that gets hit off the block and nobody can recover, so it goes down as a point for the attacker. As Patterson will serve this along. Unforced error there, but I know if you're Coach Miller, you're pretty happy with that as managed to take a 14-8 lead. I think Patterson rolled off about 6 or 7 points for the Cougars, so good run there. As DeVos will go back to serve here for the Hawks, dug out by Patterson. Good job there by Miller to keep that alive as Montreal put a swing on it. Reese to the back row, forced to the middle. Good job there by Hopkins to dig that out as Miller will send that long. Good job there, though, as I mentioned, for Hopkins to keep that alive on the swing attempt there, or the attack attempt by Gennard, as Huntington will close the gap now at 14-9. DeVos serve, dug out by Mangum. Attack attempt there by Miller. And favorable bounce there for the Cougars as DeVos did a great job, managed to slide in to dig that, but just an unfavorable bounce there for the Hawks.
And that's a rare attack you see by Miller, as you usually see her getting a lot of assists from her teammates.
As she'll get the service attempt here, dug out by Reese. Over to Tima, as the Cougars were able to stay alive there. As Huntingdon stays alive as well, forcing that back over. Swing attempt for Barnes. Good job there by Murphy to keep that alive. Swung on by Reese. They're going to say that was a continuation. Montran's going to keep it on the side of the net again. As looks like Gennard's going to pick up the attempt there. Almost looked like it hit in the net a little bit there, but referee saying it stayed in bounds. Good job by the Hawks to rebound, capitalize off that, and pick up the point. They pull within 15-10 now of the Cougars. Serves up here for Illisley. As that's going to be attack attempt for Shropshire, dug out by Illisley. Sent over to Tima, and she'll put that down just ahead of Patterson. Tima, a couple of big swings here late. As Ilsley will go back again here for the Hawks. They pulled within 4 of the Cougars, 15-11. Dug out by Mangum. Bump set over by Montran. Good dig there by Reese. Swung on, continuation there for Gennard. Forced over by Reese, and that's going to just fall short of going over as it landed in the net. Averett will take that point, 16-11 now, as Montran will head back here for the Cougars. Averett looking to hang on here and take a 2-0 set victory, while Huntingdon looking to rebound here and even the match at 1-1.
And if you're Huntingdon, seeing that last play really doesn't sit well.
Great dig there by Montran on the attack attempt from Gennard. As Mangum sends that over, it's going to be continuation here. It stays on the Cougars side. Tip drill there for Mangum. Good job there by Tima to stay alive. Miller over here on the dig. And then a nice play there by Barnes to see the opening in the back line. I believe Huntingdon just had one player in the back row there, and she found the far right corner for a kill. That will push the Cougars back to 17-11, 6-point lead here. Montran back to serve. Goes over to Reese. Set up for Tima. And the ref's going to say that one hit down in bounds. Good job there by Tima to find the floor, as didn't have much room in the middle of the court, but had the sideline, adjusted right in midair, and put that down.
Yeah, and that's a key. That was a key point for Huntingdon.
Team on the serve. Shropshire is going to pick up the kill there from Mangum. Haven't heard a lot from Shropshire this game, but we mentioned earlier in the day she was a second-team East Division player, so a big player for the Cougars. She extends the lead back to 6 here for Averett at 18-12. Scola will check in for the Cougars, back to serve. Serves over, dug out by Tima. Swung on by Reese. That's going to be a continuation. Sent over by Murphy. Good job there by Miller to recover. And another swing by Shropshire. Good job there by the libero and DeVusk. And I believe that was Tima who put that one down as well. So Vlad the libero there for Huntingdon in Lexi DeVusk, as she kept that point alive and managed to allow it to get to your leading attacker right now.
Yeah, and if I'm Huntingdon, I'm going to keep setting up Tima.
Gennard's attempt dug out by Montran. Over to Mangum. That's going to go down as a block there for McAllister and I believe it's actually, right there in the middle. The eight gets jumbled up on our jersey, so it's hard to tell if it's an 8 or a 0 at times, but good job there by the middle blockers. Gennard's service attempt sent over, dug out by Montran. 18-14 Cougars lead. Tip drill by Dedez. Good job there by Reese to read that. And that's going to be tacked by Tima, dug out by Miller. Set attempt here from Dedez. Pushed over to McAllister. That's going to stay in bounds. Dug out by Reese. Attack attempt, going to continuation. And that will be attack attempt there for Tima. Good job by Dedez to step in the way of that. Knock it down in the court for a block to give the Cougars back a 5-point lead now at 19-14. Hopkins will check in for Averett. She'll go back to serve. Both teams battling throughout that point. And that will be dug out by Reese in the back row. Set by Tima, pushed over. That'll be attack attempt by Miller. Trying to set it there, couldn't quite get this set because she's going to be too high, and managed to tip it back over her head like she did earlier in set 1, pick up the point there, at giving the Cougars a 20-14 advantage. Hopkins serve, dug out by Reese. pushed over to McAllister, and they're going to back row is going to call that in. Excellent call there by the back judges. Even from up here at our vantage point, it looked like that hit just inside the tape.
Yeah, you can hear in the background.
Averett fans not too happy with that one.
Not too happy with that one.
I can say from this vantage point, it was an excellent call by the officials. As Clements and Murphy are going to check back in. Murphy back to serve here. 20-15 advantage for the Cougars. Serve goes over to Montran. Pushed over to the Dez. She'll tip it. Good job there by McAllister. Pushed over to Clements. And good job there by Patterson to not get too antsy to go to dig that and realize that it had a chance to go out of bounds and to let the ball travel. Mangum back to serve here for the Cougars. Late here in set 2. Mangum's serve goes to Tima. Pushed over to Reese, and that will be a kill for Reese. Averett blocked just a little bit late to get there, and Dez and Montran managed to get a tip on it, but Montran couldn't quite get the second touch to go back up. As Huntingdon pulls back within 5, 21-16. Reese back to serve here. High arc and serve for Reese. Set attempt, swung on by Dez. It's going to be a continuation here. Pushed over to Montran, and she'll swing and hit that one down.
And haven't heard her name much in this set, but if I'm Averett, I'm looking to get her going.
Very big player late in matches. I know Coach Miller loves to go to her late as she picks up the point there, giving the Cougars a 22-16 advantage. Patterson's serve here, dug out by Reese. And that's going to go down as an ace for Patterson. Good job there by Reese, but unable for anybody to get to that ball. A little tough luck there for the Hawks. Service attempt here for Patterson. Goes to Reese. It seems to be the theme so far. Swung on by Tima. Dug out by Patterson. Good job to stay alive. It's going to go back over to the Hawks side. Going to be swung on there by Clements. Patterson again on the dig. Over to Montran. Good job there by DeVos to readjust. That's going to be staying on the Huntingdon side as Tima puts a swing on it again. Dug out by Barnes. As Montran, I believe, is going to pick up the kill there. It looks like they're going to get a blocking error here on... Nope, they're not going to call a blocking error. They're just going to call a kill there, I believe. I didn't see any numbers go in the air. So Cougars now here with set point, 24-16. Serve goes to Reese, swung on by Clements. Good dig there by Miller to recover, but unable to get a set attempt there for Barnes, as she was a little tough to get over there, as that will go down as a kill. Hawks pull back within 17-24 of the Cougars. DeVos back to serve here for the Hawks. Serve goes to Mangum. Pushed over to Barnes in the middle, and she'll put that down. That will give Averett a 25-17 set 2 victory. Cougars take a 2-0 advantage here at home. I know if you're Coach Miller, you got Barnes going there late. Montran a little bit late too. Managed to pull away late there. Excuse me, a little word jumbled here right now, but momentum in the Cougars' favor. But as we've seen several times this year, Cougars go up 2-0, set, and even as we saw in game number 2, Maryville going up 2-0, and then Meredith rebounding and able to take set 3. So 2-0 lead is nothing too surmountable in this conference, as two highly talented teams here, as I would expect to see Huntingdon go back to Tima a lot here in set 3, probably get Reese a little more involved, and maybe even go to the middle a little bit. So I wouldn't probably be surprised to see Tima rotate a little bit more, go back to the middle, see if she can get some swings in the open court. But 2-0 advantage, nothing insurmountable as we were talking about. But if you're Coach Miller, you got to be pretty happy with the way your team has played so far, managing to come back in set 1, able to take a late set victory, and then able to pull out the set 2 victory there.
Yeah, and I believe a big part of this is the energy. The energy in the building for the Cougars is going their way, and like I had said in the beginning, the team with the most energy is most likely to come out with the victory.
Yeah, stats just got delivered our way, so we'll go over those for a couple of minutes here, but attack percentage now, you can see the difference. Huntingdon hitting below 100 for that set, dropping to just over 13% for the match, where Averett hit 267, just down from set 1, but hitting still 270 for the match. So anything over 250, 200, you got to be feeling pretty happy about that. Tima leads the league, or so far leads the game with 13 kills, hit 275 or 273 from the outside. Murphy with 17 assists, DeBus 13 digs. And we turn it over here to the Averett side. 3 blocks on the day, 2 for the Hawks, but very evenly distributed if you look through the board. Matra with 8 kills, 2 errors, hit 240. Miller 5 kills from the center position, 24 assists right now, and 6 digs. So closing in on triple-double, but hit 273 from the center position. And then you look at Barnes sitting from the middle, 7 kills right now, no errors at 538. So you better be pretty happy for Coach Miller from that performance. And then you look down at the Dez with 5 kills, Mangum with 4. So Miller really spreading the ball around. And then the Cougars right now with 3 players in double-digit digs as Montran, closing in on a double-double with 8 kills, 11 digs. Mangum 10 digs, and then Michael Patterson leading the team right now with 12 digs. So what are your thoughts so far throughout this one?
Well, if you're Huntington, you're looking to find a way to get back into this game and see if you can come out with the 3rd set win. And if you're Averett, you're looking to end it all right here in this 3rd set. You have the crowd with you. Energy is your way, moving your way.
Home court advantage right now. Probably packed house. I'd say 250, 275 here in the house for the Cougars. Probably definitely playing a factor in this one, but Huntington, as we mentioned, definitely not out of this one. Very talented team, so see if they can rebound here, force this to a set 4. And I know if you're Coach Miller here, you're really hoping your team comes out. A lot of enthusiasm, hustle plays, and then even on the Huntington side here, you're definitely trying. You want to come out here with a lot of energy, try to get an early lead here, and manage to hang on and force this to a 4th set. As Ilsley will go back to serve here for the Hawks. Her attempt goes over, dug out by Montran. Long run there from Miller, unable to get to it, as that will go down for an ace to Ilsley. Good start there for the Hawks. That's what you want to get there. Unforced error there by the Cougars gives the Hawks a 1-0 advantage. Goes back over to Montran, and that will go down as back-to-back reception errors on Montran. Usually a pretty reliable option there on the back line. I know you asked Coach Miller. She's done very well as a freshman there in big, crucial situations. See if they go back to Montran here, as it does go back to Montran, and again, it's going to go down as a service error, or service ace for Ilsley, as Miller is moving Montran up, giving his freshman some encouragement here, get her going, as Ilsley's service attempt goes up. They're up 3-0. Good job there by keeping that alive. Barnes fights that alive, keeps it over the net. That'll be swung on there by, I believe it was Gennard, as that will give the Huntingdon Hawks a 4-0 advantage. And as we talked about going into this set, you're the Hawks, you really want to get up early. Good job by Huntingdon to come out in this one, as Ilsley's serve is up, dug out by Montran. And it's going to be swung on by Montran. Good job there by Tima. It'll be an attack attempt from the setter in Murphy. And swung on there by Barnes, and she'll put that down, put the Cougars on the board here. They trail 4-1. A little bit out of rotation there, didn't quite get it to Miller, but Shropshire able to get it to Barnes, and Barnes able to find the floor. Miller back to serve here for the Cougars. And that will be received there by Reese. Long run for Murphy, as that will go down as a kill for Reese. Applied the action there from Murphy, as she had to go a long ways to set that ball, but Reese managed to help her out with that run and find the floor. As Timo will go back now. Hawks up 5-1. Dug out there from Patterson. Attack attempt by Miller. Swung on by Gennard, as that will go down as another kill for the Hawks. Hawks coming out swinging here in set 3. They take a 6-1 advantage, as Coach Miller is going to take a timeout now. He's seen enough. He wants to put an end to this run. So let's see if they can come out with this one. But we're going to take a brief break. When we come back, we'll have the rest of set 3 from the Grant Center here at Averett University.
If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
And welcome back. Clock winding down here on the timeout. Averett's back on the court. Huntington's just coming out now. They will have serve up 6-1 as Tima will go back. I know if you're Huntington, this is the position you want. You want your top player back there serving right now. Coach Miller electing to take the timeout there as his team fell down 6-1. Tima serves up, dug out by Patterson, sent over to Shropshire. As that will be dug out by Ilsley. Good running attempt there by DeVos, but just out of a reach as that will go down as a kill for Shropshire. That'll give the Cougars back to serve here, trailing 6-2. Montran back to serve.
And being able to get that kill out of the timeout. If you're Avery, you're looking to ride off that energy to get back into this game, to this set, excuse me.
As that will go down as a kill there for Reese, just out of the reach of the extension of Patterson. As that will bring in Taylor Wright here for the Hawks, sending back Allison Gennard for the serve. Hawks up 7-2. Dug out there by Montran. Pushed over to Shropshire. She'll put a swing down. Looks like the Hawks just out of position there as Gennard was unable to get that one. Good swing there, though, by Shropshire. As Scolo will check in here for the Cougars, heads back to serve. Now if you're Averett here, you'd like to put a run up, try to get this within 7-6, 7-7, as that's going to be dug out there by Tima. Swung on there by Reese. She just barely mishit it, but enough to be a favorable bounce there for the Cougars as they pull within 7-4 now. Scolo back to serve. Like the ref blowing that one dead. They'll send it back over to Averett here. Scolo serves up. Over to DeVos. Swung on there by Reese in the middle. Good play there by Scolo. Swung on by Mangum as that bounced off Tima. Dug out by DeVos, but not much of a chance there to return that one. Great swing there, though, by Mangum. That pulls the Cougars within 7-5 here. Scolo back to serve still. Serve attempts up. Dug out there by Tima. Pushed over to McAllister. Job there by Miller to slide over and dig that one out. Sent over to Shropshire as that's going to be right into the net. That will go down as an attack error. Just missed hit that one as Barnes will check in now for the Cougars. She'll come out in the libero rotation for Patterson, though. As I believe that will be Murphy back to serve for the Hawks. Sophomore out of Moscow, Idaho. Sends it over to Patterson. That will be a free ball attempt here from Montran. Swung on by Reese. Continuation, but the Hawks may be able to get it over. Set by Dedez, swung on by Shropshire. Good job there by Tima to put a body on that to get the dig. Swung on by a tip drill here by Mangum. Murphy on her toes, pulls that one in. Swung on by McAllister as Dedez was able to hang tough. Shropshire sends that over to stay alive for the Cougars. Swung on by McAllister, dug out by Montran, but Patterson unable to get there. A lot of extended plays there. Huntington be able to come in on the favorable end of that to take a 9-5 advantage here as Murphy will head back to serve here again for the Hawks. Both teams managing to lay out several times, pick up big digs there and keep the play alive. And that will be dug out by Patterson. That will go down as a service ace, reception error for Patterson. That will push the Hawks lead to 10-5 now.
And looking back from set 3 to set 2, the long extended plays, second set, Avery was coming up with them. Now you see Huntington starting to come up with the long-ended plays here.
That swung on by Dedez. Good dig there by Reese. Ilsley sends that over. Swung on back row, Montran. Good dig there by DeVos. Sent over the net, and a heads-up play there by Dedez to see the opening and put that down. That'll pull the Cougars within 10-6. Hopkins checks in, heads back to serve. Just Tough bounce there for the Hawks as it carried a little too much momentum as that heads over to Reese. Good job there by Murphy to keep that alive, and a great swing there by Tima to put that down. Hustle play there by Murphy. Managed to keep that from hitting the net. Gave your Conference Player of the Year a chance to put a swing on it. Huntington up 11-6. Reese back to serve. High arc and serve. Swung on by to Dez. Continuation. Swung on by Miller. Reese will dive and pull that one out. Can they send it back over? They do. Great hustle play there by Isley, but a more heads-up play there by Dez as it landed right in their hands and she managed to put it down. I believe that's the last 2 out of 3 points for Dez. Heads-up plays there by the senior. As Mangum will head back now. Averett trailing 11-7. Mangum serve here. Dug out by Reese. That will go back over to the Averett side. Swung on. Tip drill by Dez. Good job there by Tima to recover. Swung on by McAllister. Hopkins is there. Pushed over to Mantra and tipped at the line. Good job there by DeVos to recover. Swung on by Tima and she'll put that down.
And like you were saying earlier, if you're Huntington, you're looking to set up Tima more. And as you see in this third set, that's exactly what they are doing, setting up Tima. And she's pulling through for Huntington.
DeVos back to serve, up 12-7. Dug out by Mangum. It's going to go over to the Huntington side. Swung on here by Jannard, I believe. It's going to be a continuation. Pushed over by Ilsley, and she manages to find the line. Mangum couldn't quite get there. Thought it might go out of bounds to let it go, but a heads-up play there from Ilsley, the freshman setter out of Bartlett, Tennessee, as that will give the Hawks back to serve here, up 13-7. Got to feel good if you're Huntington, up by 6 right now, as that will be dug out by Patterson. Free ball over by Mangum. Swung on, or tip drill by Tima. Good job there by Mangum to get to it, but no luck there for the Cougars as Tima managed to pick up another kill there. As Coach Miller is going to call a timeout here, try to put an end to this run. We're going to take a brief break. When we come back, we'll have the conclusion of set number 3 here from the semifinal conference, or USA South semifinal conference match between the Huntington Hawks and the Averett University Cougars.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Welcome back as we return to action. Huntington leads Averett 14-7 here in set 3. Cougars up 2-0 if you're just tuning in. Lexi DeVos back to serve here for the Hawks. Senior libero out of Bluntstown, Florida, puts up the serve. Dug out by Hopkins. Pushed over to Montran, and she'll put that down. Good job there by Miller to push that out to Mantra and gave her a free swing at that one. As Patterson will head back now to serve for the Cougars. Good job there with a timeout by Miller as you can come out and get a big kill. Cougars trail 14-8. Serve goes to Reese. As that's going to be a good job there by Ilsley. Pushed back over and swung on tip drill by Barnes, and she'll put that down. Originally thought that might have hit the ground, but great job there by Ilsley to lay out, and then Reese the heads-up play to know she just had to get it over, but great job there by Barnes to pick up the kill for the Cougars and pull within 5 here. Patterson serve. Dug out by Reese. Swung on by Tima, and that will go down as a kill. Oh, they're going to say that landed just out of bounds. I kind of, at that point, just assumed it might be in, but it looks like it probably did land just wide of the line down here
You and me
to our
both.
left. Patterson serve here. Dug out by DeVos. Swung on there by, I believe it was Jannard, and they're going to say that just sailed wide of the line. Another one of those 50-50 balls. Look close from our angle up here, but Averett able to pull within 14-11 here with Patterson back to serve still. Pushed over to Reese. Sent over to Tima. She'll tip that over. Good job there by Hopkins. Swung on by Matrin, and that will go down as a kill. Good job there by Hopkins to read the tip there from Tima and managed to recover and get the ball to Miller, who pushed it over to Matrin. Patterson back to serve. Averett a great run here to pull back within 2. Goes to Reese. Pushed over there by Jannard. Attack attempt by Miller. That will go back to Reese. She'll swing on it. And that will go down as a kill there for Reese. Good hustle play by the Hawks there. Miller tried to put a foot on to get it back up to live a little longer, but unable to make the play. Ilsley back to serve here. Hawks up 15-12. High arcing serve goes to Matrin. Over to Matrin, and she'll hit that off the block attempt and go down for a kill. Shropshire will check back in here for the Cougars. Miller will go back to serve. Averett back within 2 at 15-13. I know if you're Coach Miller here, this is who you want back serving. This is your go-to player in these situations. As Miller's serve goes over to Reese. Pushed over to Tima. Good tip block there at the line. Attack attempt from Miller, and that will go down as a kill from Miller. That was all set up at the line there by the block, able to put a finger on it from the attack attempt from Tima, as that probably would have found hardwood. So applaud the effort there by Shropshire and Barnes. As that's sent over, dug out by Reese, swung on by Tima. Good job there by Miller to keep that alive and send it back over. As Ilsley will put a attempt on it. Dug out by Mangum, sent over to Matrin. She'll tip it over and find hardwood. That play right there, I'm sure you agree, will be all accredited to Mackenzie Miller, as Huntingdon's going to take a timeout here as Averett managed to come back and even this at 15-15. Got to applaud the effort there by Mackenzie Miller, as Tima put one great swing on that ball. When you originally saw it come out of her hand, you probably thought hardwood, but those of you watching at home, got to applaud the effort there by the junior from Danville, Virginia.
I concur.
We'll hang around for this one.
As you're starting to see the crowd of Averett getting back into it, as they were a little quiet in the beginning of the third set, but now they're starting to get more live, and I believe Cougars are starting to feed off that energy, which has helped them to get back into this game.
Right, I would agree with that, as you can hear Enter Sandman playing in the background. Those of you at home, I know that's pretty favorable to a lot of Virginia Tech fans, as that's the entrance, but as a baseball guy, most people know that as legendary reliever for the Yankees, Mariano Rivera, his walkout song. So very popular song by a lot of players and colleges. As time winding down here in the timeout, Miller back to serve here for the Cougars, as Averett's managed to come back and tie this at 15-15. Referee signals Miller's serve here. Dug out there by DeVos. They're going to get a ball handling there. Error on Murphy, as tough ball there to set. You see over to your left, Averett Athletic Director Meg Stevens there in the gray jacket, encouraging the fans to get into this as Miller sends this over. Dug out there by Reese. Swung on by Jannard. Good job there by Miller to recover, as the free ball sent over there by the Cougars. Pushed over to, I believe it was Tima. Miller unable to get a finger on it, but good job there by Tima. Recover there, even the match again at 16-16. Definitely been a theme throughout this third set, as you mentioned earlier, going to Tima. Tima back to serve, sends it over, and that will go down as a service error on Patterson to give a credit to service ace to Tima. Gives the Hawks back a 17-16 advantage. Miller switching up the back row here, moves Mangum into the middle. Mangum goes to Mangum, sent over to Matrin. Dug out there by Tima, sent over by Ilsley. Mangum picks up another dig. Sent over to Matrin, that will be dug out by Reese. Attack attempt there by Jannard. Be interested to see if they credit that, as the referee is putting up 4 fingers, so they are going to call that probably an attack error in the net. Thought it might go as a block for a second there, but I did think it hit the net, as Matrin goes back to serve here. Averett 17-17. Sent over, dug out by Tima. Pushed over to Jannard, as that will find hardwood. as Montran had moved into the middle expecting the hit, and Gennard managing to react right in mid-swing and push it to the back row, as I believe that will bring in Taylor Wright here, checks in for the Hawks. Hawks up 18-17. Gennard's serve, dug out by Montran, goes over in the Cougars' favor. Swung on by Reese, and that will go down as a kill for the Hawks. Good job there by Montran to keep the ball alive, but a better job there by Huntingdon to manage to set that attempt up and get a good swing there for Reese. Serve here for Gennard. That will go down as an ace for Gennard. Huntingdon jumps back out 20-17. Favorable advantage here for the Hawks. Gennard's serve. Dug out by Barnes. Pushed over to Shropshire. Looks like they're going to get a point here for the Cougars. That will go down as a kill for Shropshire. Scola will check back in. She'll head it to serve. Senior back to serve now for Coach Miller. This is where unforced errors, you kind of eliminate them if you are the Cougars. Dug out there by Tima. Pushed over to Reese. She'll put a good swing on it. Great dig there by Montran. Pushed over to Mangum. She'll put a swing on it. Good job there by Ilsley. Pushed over to McAllister. Dug out there by Miller. Pushed back over to the Hawks side. Set up for McAllister. That was a continuation there. Tipped there by Reese. Dug out by Miller. Attack attempt there by Dedez. Job recovering there by the Hawks. Set attempt here for Dedez. That will remain on the Cougars side. Over to Shropshire. She'll put a swing. Good job there by Ilsley to slide over. McAllister will put that over there for the Hawks. Pushed over to Mangum. Dug out there by Tima. Swung on by McAllister. A great fight and play there by the Cougars, but an unfavorable bounce there. Miller tried to put it in, but it would go down as a ball handling error there for the Cougars. Landed just out of bounds. Barnes will check back in here. Swap out for Patterson and libero change. This will send Murphy back to serve here for the Hawks, up 21-18.
And now as we get closer to the game point, you see a couple of volleys, great volleys starting to go on here late in the third set.
As that one just landed far of the net. Another 50-50 ball. Almost found the net. Hopkins will check back in for the Cougars there. But not a bad swing there by Tima as she nearly found the back line. Averett down 21-19. Sent over to Reese. It looks like I know the Huntingdon coach down here is trying to, Tanya Brady trying to fight for a tip there, but tough to see from our angle, but favorable Averett bounce there as it goes out of bounds. Pulling within 21-20. Hopkins serve over. Pushed over to McAllister as that will go down as a kill just out of the reach of Patterson. That will put it back at 2 points here for the Hawks, 22-20. This will be a big point right here for either team. Hawks can go up 23-20 here. Dug out there by Hopkins. Pushed over to the middle for Dedez. Dug out there by DeVust. Pushed over to McAllister. Job there by Mangum. Pushed over by Miller. Going to be staying on the line, and Dedez will put a swing on it. DeVust with the dig. Good job there by Hopkins. Over to Mangum, and she'll put that down. Whoa, dug out there, correction. Good job there by Ilsley. As Montreal will put a swing on that. Dug out by DeVusk. As that will go down as an attack attempt there for Tima, but a great block there by Dedez. Got to applaud the effort there. I believe it was by Ilsley, as the feet can play a factor to volleyball, and she was able to get a foot on it and live to play another point there. Averett down one now. Mango back to serve. Short serve. Diving attempt there by DeVust. Over to Tima. Good dig there by Patterson. Swing on it again by Tima, and that will fall down for a kill. At first, Miller yelling at the back line there, but good job there by Tima to put that one down. At first you don't succeed, go back the second time. The second time comes up with a kill. 23-21 advantage here for the Hawks. DeVust service attempt goes over to Mangum. Back over to Dedez, slide attempt. That's going to sail just long. Mangum trying to ask for a tip there at the line, but didn't look like much of a touch there as the attack attempt was just long. That's going to bring up a match point here for the Hawks, up 24-21. DeVos serve here, dug out by Patterson. Pushed over to Matra, and she'll dig this out. Great try there by Tima to put a foot on it, but big situations go to the players that make plays, and Matra came up big there.
And I concur as we get closer to set point, 24-22, Huntington lead. If you're Cougars, you're just trying to fight this one out. And if you're Huntington, you're just trying to get a play to take it into set 4.
As that's going to be dug out by Matra. An attack attempt by Barnes there. Good job. As Cougars have found themselves down a couple times this year. 24-20 managed to come back against Methodist earlier in the year. And then on the road, I believe, they were down 24-16 and managed to come back and win that one. So not often do you see a set point 24 team able to come back, but great rally there by the Cougars to pull within 24-23. Now, I know your Huntington right here, they just called timeout. Your Huntington's coach, you're basically telling, I'm assuming you're probably telling them, just play your game right here. I mean, keep the ball in play, no unforced errors. I mean, unforced error by Averett here gives Huntington a 25-23 match, or 23-25 set victory. So I know you're Huntington right now, you're in a pretty good position that one mistake by Averett can give you the match. And I know if you're Coach Miller over here, you're just telling your team to play hard. As Sweet Caroline's getting played here in the background, always a crowd favorite. You can see the looks like the Averett football team over there in the corner really getting into this one.
And shout out to the basketball team too. I think I see a couple of teammates out there energizing up with the crowd as well.
Looks like wrestling up there in the middle as well. So athletic director Meg Stevens getting into it as well over there. So great atmosphere here tonight from the Grant Center. Cougars find themselves down here 24-23. Huntington with match point. Averett back serving. Patterson here. Big point here for the Cougars. Patterson serve. Goes to Reese. Swung on by Tima. As that will go down as a kill for Tima. That will give the Hawks a 25-23 set 3 victory. I know if you're Huntington here, you got to be pretty happy about that one after being down 2-0, able to come back and earn a hard-fought set 3 as getting up big. Averett managed to come back. I know Coach Miller probably not very happy with that one, but I got to applaud the effort of the Cougars to be down. I think it was 8 points at one point to come back in that one, but good job there by the Hawks, able to force this to a set 4 now. That will make it back-to-back set 4s here in the semifinals as Averett leads the Huntington Hawks here 2-1. What are your thoughts so far now through 3 points? As definitely one of those sets that you could say the first two sets, the hustle points probably went in favor of the Cougars, but back there in set 3, the hustle points definitely probably went in advantage of the Hawks.
One thing I will say, I'm not surprised that we are in the set 4. Like we said in the beginning, 2 of the best teams in their conferences, and we knew it was going to be a battle from the start. Huntington trying to keep it going as they're down 1 set, and Cougars just trying to end it all in this 4th set.
Cougars still in position here, up 2-1. As stats just got delivered up here, but I know if you're Huntington right now, you got to be feeling pretty good after momentum of that set. I know Coach Miller sitting down here on the bench is probably just telling his team, keep playing your game, keep hustling the points, and stuff will go your way. So definitely some match points here as Athletic Director Meg Stevens is walking up to say hi to us. So as she just made the comment, it's like being at Fenway Park. So Red Sox fan over here and our athletic director, but great atmosphere over here as Billie Jean by Michael Jackson's playing. Always a classic song, but
always.
Let's go over some stats here through 3 sets. Huntington hitting just under 60% for the match. Cougars back over the 280 mark as they hit an impressive 310 that set. I know if you're Coach Miller, lost 25-23, but to hit 310, you got to be pretty happy with that. 282 for the game. Amy Tima currently leads the game right now. 19 kills, hit 255. April Reese, double-digit kills now with 10. She's got a double-double with 13 digs, along with Tima, who finished with 10 digs through the set 3. DeVos right now leading the match with 20 digs and then 28 assists for Murphy. And then you turn the stat sheet over to the Averett side. Montran leads the way with 13 kills, two errors, hit 306. And then Barnes right now, the freshman, coming up big with 10 kills, no errors, and a 625 attack percentage. So Barnes being a difference maker right now in this one. And then switching over here to the set position here, Miller leading the way with 36 assists. And then the Cougars right now very evenly distributed with four players with double-digit digs. Montran leading the way with 15. Miller now with a double-double, 11 digs. Mangum 14, and Patterson with 13. Dedez still hitting impressive tonight. 7 kills and only 2 errors, then Mangum 5 kills. So several players, Cougars with the potential here if they have a decent third set, or fourth set, they have 4 players in double-digit kills, where Huntingdon, as well as Shelby McAllister and Allison Gennard, both with 5 kills apiece.
And we're back here for the fourth set.
We head back. It will be the serve here by the Cougars. Miller back to serve. Junior setter here. She sends that over. Dug out by Reese. Swung on by Gennard. Dug out by Patterson. Pushed back there by Miller. Good job there by Reese to recover. It's going to be swung on by Gennard. Good dig there by Miller. Shropshire kept that alive. And that's a great play there by Miller. Hustle play there by Shropshire. A little bit of luck with the bounce there as Miller tried to put a free ball over, but managed to find the court there to give the Cougars a 1-0 lead there. Another hustle play there by the Cougars. That's sent back there, dug out by Reese. Be swung on there by Tima, as that's going to land just out of bounds. Averett up 2-0 here. Miller back to serve. Sent over, swung on by Tima, as that will land out of the sliding reach of Miller. Put the Hawks on the board here, down 2-1. Ilsley back to serve here. Freshman sends it over, dug out by Mangum, swung on by tip drill by Barnes. Good job there by Ilsley to recover, as that's going to be pushed over by Gennard, but it will land just out of bounds there. Ilsley having a good game here for the Hawks, has really made some big digs late in sets, and now early in the fourth set, as Montran back to serve here, dug out by DeVos, and that's going to be pushed over by Murphy for the kill. Didn't really have a chance to set that one. Managed to push it over and find some hardwood for the kill. That's going to put the Hawks back within 3-2 here of the Cougars. Tima back to serve, sends it over to Montran. Set attempt over to Shropshire. It's going to stay on the Cougars side of the net. Pushed over by Mangum. Swung on by Reese. And that will land just out of the dive there of Patterson. Mangum tried to go for it there, but saw Patterson diving. Just out of her reach, though, as that will even the match here at 3-3. As Tima will send the serve over here. Dug out by Patterson. Attack attempt there by, I believe it was Barnes, and that will be Reese who will put it down there for the Hawks. That will give the Hawks their first lead here in the fourth set, 4-3 now. Tima still back to serve here. Dug out by Patterson. Swung on by Shropshire. Good sliding dig there by Ilsley. Pushed over by Gennard. Dug out by Patterson. Dug out by Miller, but just out of the reach of Zamira Mangum, who was trying to set that ball. As that will push the lead here to 5-3. Huntingdon able to come back early in this one now. That will be pushed over by Barnes, but a good block there by, I believe it was Gennard, and I don't know if Reese jumped at the same time or not, but definitely Gennard on the block there. Kind of almost a reversal of fortunes here early. As that's pushed over to Montran. Swung on by Shropshire just off the tip, as that will go down as a kill for the Cougars. That will bring Scolo into the game. She'll head back to serve. Dedez will check in now at middle blocker.
And even though this is excuse me, Joe, but even though this is the beginning of the fourth set, I believe that point was very important.
Yeah, I would agree. Put an end to a Huntingdon Hawks run as that was put over. Swung on there by Reese. Good job there by the Cougars block as that was swung on by Tima. Tipped at the line, or tipped at the net, excuse me, as that's pushed over to stay alive there by Miller. Swung on by Gennard. Good job there by Dedez as she managed to keep that alive and keep it on the Hawks side. Free ball attempt there by Tima. Swung on by Dedez. Tima with a big dig there. Swung over by Reese, and she'll find the hardwood. Good hustle point there by both teams. Huntington able to come out there on the better half of that one as Reese picked up the kill. Patterson will check back, Barnes will check back in for the Cougars. She'll swap out for Patterson. And then on the Huntington side, it will be Taylor Wright checking in. That will send Allison Gennard back to serve. Huntington up 7-4. Trying to fourth a fifth and deciding set now. Dug out by Matrin. Pushed over to Dedez. She'll put a swing on it. Dug out by Gennard. Set up for Tima. She'll tip it over. Dug out by Mangum. Swung on by Shropshire, and that will get down. A favorable bounce there for the Cougars off the Hawks block. As looked like I couldn't tell if it was Tima or Ilsley that was unable to get there. As Hopkins will check in here for the Cougars. She'll go back to serve down 7-5. Dug out by Reese. Swung on here by McAllister. Tip block at the line, or at the net. Pushed over by Miller. Dug out by Tima. Swung on by McAllister. Kind of a 50-50 ball there at the net. McAllister unable to really get a swing on it. Didn't quite go over to the Cougars' side, but a favorable bounce there for Averett, and they find themselves down 7-6 now. Hopkins here's the serve. Dug out by Reese. Pushed over by Reese. That will fall in just next to the line there, pushing the Hawks lead back to 8-6. Murphy will check in. She'll head back to serve. Another highly contested set here. Neither team really taking advantage here. Averett able to keep it close, but Huntington hanging on to a slight lead. It's going to be dug out by Patterson, pushed over by Dedez. Sent over to McAllister. Good job there by Patterson to read that one. It'll be swung on by Dedez. She'll push it back over. It'll be swung on by Ilsley. See if they call tip here, but no favorable bounce there off the tip, as that will go down as a point for the Cougars. They'll pull back within 8-7 here. Mangum back to serve. Dug out there by DeVust. Attack attempt by Tima, but just left to the far out of bounds line. That will even the match here at 8-8. Mangum still back to serve here for the Cougars. Averett up 2-1 now in set 4. Goes to Tima. Free ball attempt here from the Hawks. Sent over to Matrin for the Cougars. Good job there by Tima on the dig. McAllister will send it over, and she'll find hardwood. As that will give the Hawks back the lead at 9-8. McAllister coming up a little big here in set 4. Hadn't played much in set 3, but a couple big kills here early. Reese back to serve here for the Hawks. Ball goes to Mangum. Back to Dedez, and that will be a big kill for the senior from Miller. Evens the match at 9-9. Dedez will check out. Barnes will come in. Patterson back to serve.
And even though it's early here in the fourth set, it feels like it's late in the fourth set.
As that heads over to Reese. Swung on by McAllister, dug out by Patterson. Good job there by Barnes to keep it alive. As that will be swung on by Tima. I believe they're going to get a blocking error here on, I believe, Mangum, probably 23, I think he held up. As that will give the Hawks back the lead at 10-9. DeVust back to serve. Dug out by Mangum, sent over to Matrin. Great dig there by Reese to keep that ball alive. As that will be sent over by Huntington. And Barnes will find hardwood. Reese thought it was going out, but Barnes managed to put that one in, as Shropshire will check back in for the Cougars. Barnes evening the things up here at 10-10. My guess is the first team to 20 in this one is probably going to take set 4. As Miller's serve here goes over to DeVust. Attack attempt by Gennard, and that will go down as a kill for Gennard. That will send Ilsley back to serve here as we return to rotation. Top of the rotation for the Hawks. Ilsley service attempt sails just long of the line, excuse me. As Montran will turn back, head back to serve here for the Cougars. Freshman looking to give the Cougars, I believe, their first or second lead of the set. And that dug out by Reese, sent over to Tima, and she'll put that down. Tima back now to serve. Her team up 12-11 here in set 4. Ball goes to Montran, sent over to Shropshire. Good dig there by DeVust to keep that alive. Be pushed over. Corralled by Barnes, swung on again by Shropshire, and this time she'll find the bottom of the floor. Scola will check in here for the Cougars. She'll head back to serve. Point for point right now. See how long this one goes on.
This is very exciting.
Scolo's serve attempt goes over, dug out by Tima. Over to Gennard, and she'll find the bottom of the floor for a 13-12 advantage now. Barnes will check in here for the Cougars. Rotation swap with Patterson again. I believe that's Gennard back to serve now for Huntingdon, junior out of Mobile, Alabama. Her service attempts up, dug out by Montran. Up to Dedez, hits off the block, dug out by Gennard. Pushed over to Reese, and that will go down as a kill for Reese. As blocked just a little bit late to get there for the Cougars. Huntingdon now the 14-12 advantage. Gennard back to serve. That's going to sail long. Good job there by Montran to read that off Gennard's hand. As Hopkins will check in now for the Cougars, she'll head back to serve. Be interesting to see if the Cougars can make a little bit of a run here with Hopkins back to serve. As she serves that to Reese. Be pushed over by Reese, dug out by Hopkins. Over to Mangum. She'll put a swing down, and that will be a kill. Even the match here at 14-14. Averett able to even this up several times throughout the first opening 14 points, but unable to take an advantage since the first 3 points. As that goes over from Mangum. Swung on there, continuation. Be pushed over there by Wright. Swung on by Dedez. Good job there by McAllister, recover. She'll get an attack attempt here. Job there by Montran. Attack attempt by Miller. Huntingdon able to keep that alive. They'll send it over. Dedez through the middle, continuation here. Push back to Montran. She'll get a swing and find the bottom, back of the line there for a kill. Averett able to take a 15-14 lead here. Hard not to get excited in this one for either team with the way this one's panning out. Hopkins serve, knuckleball that lands just inside the line. Great job there. Tough read. It knuckled out of her hand. You could see a little movement on the ball, and managed to drop in for ace. That'll be dug out by Reese. Pushed over to Reese in the middle as Hopkins manages to get a hand on it. Miller will put that over for a free ball attempt. And pushed out over to McAllister. She'll put that down for a kill to pull within 15-16 here of the Cougars. As Murphy will check back in here for the Hawks. She'll head back to serve. Goes back to Patterson, and that will go down as an ace. As Miller was unable to get that. Looks like she's a little banged up, a little slow to get up here. As that evens the match here at 16-16. Murphy back to serve. Sends it over to Hopkins, which goes over the net. And that's going to be a kill there for Reese. She got kind of a free attempt there at a swing. Gives the Huntingdon Hawks a 17-16 advantage. Murphy serving here again. Dug out there by Hopkins. Set attempt from Miller. Attacked by Matrin. Dug out there by DeVust. Pushed over by McAllister. And that's going to go down as a kill there by Miller. Another one of those backhanded attempts. Couldn't quite get a set attempt, but doing whatever she can to give her team a fighting chance there as that evens the match again at 17-17. Mangum back to serve here for the Cougars. Goes over, and that will go down as an ace from Mangum. Reception error will be charged there to Lexi DeVust.
And one thing I'll say about each team, key component is keeping composure. Back and forth game.
That's dug out by Tima. Sent over by McAllister. Good job recovering there by Mangum. Over to Matrin, and she'll find the hardwood again. Giving Averett back a 2-point lead here at 19-17, and that will bring us to a timeout here by the Hawks. Good job there by the Cougars to roll off a little bit of a run here. Huntingdon wanting to spoil that. Seen the theme so far today that whatever team takes a timeout, they tend to come out and get a little bit of a run going. So I know the Hawks taking a timeout here, hoping to come back up and even this one at 19-19. Running out of points in this one here late. Cougars with a slight advantage, but Huntingdon definitely in this game, only down by 2. Coach Miller, I'm sure over there talking to his team right now, telling them keep fighting, keep scrapping for every single point. And then over here you got Huntingdon as Coach Brady telling her team, just do what got you here to this point, as finished number 2 on the west side. So definitely a lot of talent there, as we talked about earlier, several all-conference players. As the YMCA, you can hear is playing in the background. The crowd really getting into that one. It'll be Mangum back to serve here for the Cougars. Averett looking to hang on this one, up to 19-17 late in set 4. Mangum's serve goes over, dug out by Tima. Pushed into the middle to Reese, and just out of the dive of Hopkins there. She tried to get it back up to a teammate, but good job there by Reese to read the opening in the middle of the Averett defense. That pulls the Hawks back within 19-18. Reese serve, dug out by Hopkins. Swung on by Matrin, and that's a kill for Matrin. Big point there by the Cougars as Huntingdon came out of the timeout, got exactly what they wanted to in a kill, but Averett managing to put an end to that run quickly and put them back in position here, up 20-18. Patterson back to serve now for the Cougars. Sends it over to DeVust. Good long running set there by Murphy. Swung on by Barnes, and she'll put that down to give the Cougars a 21-18 lead here. Barnes coming up big in this one for the Cougars. Patterson back serving. Patterson's serve goes to Reese. Pushed over to, I believe it was Tima. And she'll put that down for a kill. Hopkins put a touch on it, but unable to do anything with it. Big situation there for the junior. And she pulls within 21-19. DeVust's service attempt goes to Mangum, pushed over by Miller. Goes back to Jannar, dug out by Barnes. Pushed over to Matrin. And that's going to be a lucky bounce there for the Cougars as Murphy put a touch on it, but just off her fingers as it flew back wide of the line, and Huntingdon unable to put a second touch on it as Averett will take a 22-19 here advantage. Big point here if the Cougars can get up to 23 with Miller serving. Goes to Reese. Pushed over to, I believe that was Jannard as the ball goes just a little wide. It looked like they were trying to get it out wide to Tima, but unable to get it there as Huntingdon will take a timeout here. Big point there by the Cougars to take a 23-19 advantage, up by 4. put yourself in a position here now, if you're Coach Miller's squad, that 2 unforced errors here by Huntington can put you in a good position to win this match. I know we talk about it a lot down there doing stats. The 23-point can come back a lot of times to play a big factor in a match. Definitely not over by any factor here for the Hawks, as they got a lot of firepower. Look for them to probably go back to Tima here, put the ball in your Conference Player of the Year's hands, and allow her to see if she can put you back in this match.
Right. It's like you're in my head, because I was finna speak on that. If I'm Huntington, I'm trying to give it to my best player to get us back in this. Keeping composure. The game is clearly not over with. We've seen from the past 3 sets, this can go either way.
I know as a basketball player, you know, crucial situations, you go to your scores. This is one of those situations.
Yeah.
Miller back to serve here for the Cougars. Averett up 23-19. Miller's serve goes over to Reese. Set by Murphy. Attack attempt by Ilsley, dug out there, I believe, by Shropshire. Sent over to Matrin, and she'll put that down just in front of, I believe it was Tima. Good job there by Matrin. Freshman coming up big there for the Cougars. Pushing the Cougars to a deciding 24-19 game point here. As Miller sends it over, dug out there by DeVusk. Good job there by Murphy to keep the play alive. Pushed over to Matrin, and she'll put that down for the game-winning point there for the Cougars. As Averett, well, you can see them jumping out on the court here. Crowd going wild in the background, but Averett managed to come back there after dropping the 3rd set to take a 3-1 victory today. They'll move on tomorrow to play Maryville College, who won earlier in the day. As the crowd's going wild here, you can see a lot of the football, basketball, and wrestling teams out there on the court. But if you're Coach Miller, you got to be very excited with your squad right now. After falling down early in the year, 7-0, or they're 0-7, they managed to rebound. Managed to go 14-2 in conference. Now they've forced themselves to a championship match tomorrow at 3 p.m. as they'll face off against Maryville. And if you look to the other side of this court, if you're Huntington, you're disappointed, but you got to look back and say that definitely fought in this one, and definitely a successful season here for the Hawks. Nothing to hang your head about. As got to applaud the play of the Hawks today, and shout out to Amy Tima, as definitely see why she was Conference Player of the Year. And then on the other side, Lauren Matrin going Freshman of the Year, came up big late in the game for the Cougars. And then on the other side, you had the freshman middle in Barnes, who probably came down to the X factor in this one for Coach Miller. But any final thoughts on this one, Corey?
For both teams, great fall game. Despite the Cougars coming out with the win, Huntington, great effort. Like you said, no reason to hang their heads. They put up a great fight here in this semifinals game, and my hat's off to the Cougars for being able to pull it out. Things get a little tough. 3rd set, Huntington came up with it, but Coach Miller, he's been here before, so I'm sure he had no words, just telling his team, don't worry about it, just keep playing your game and get the W.
You're right. Big matchup tomorrow in the championship, as Averett will get a rematch with Maryville. Maryville knocked off Averett earlier in the year, 3-0 here at home. But Cougars definitely in a better position than they were at that point. Maryville playing very well right now, as they rolled off a 3-1 victory over Meredith earlier in the day. But I know if you're Coach Miller right now, you got to be pretty excited heading in tomorrow, getting to battle for a championship and play on the final day of the conference season. So,
and not even if you're Coach Miller, if you're the players of the Cougars, I know me being a basketball player, if it's a team I play and they beat me, I'm more focused and I'm more ready to play them than I've ever been, especially in the championship game. The atmosphere is going to be crazy, and I'm sure tomorrow is going to be a great battle between those two teams.
Well, Corey, I want to thank you for joining me tonight. I'm Joseph Swanson. Like I mentioned, Corey Baldwin joining me tonight. We're going to sign off at this time. We want to thank you for tuning in to watching tonight's broadcast of the USA South Semifinal. Tune in tomorrow as we'll bring you the championship action. That's set to get started at 3 p.m. as the Averett Cougars, #1 seed from the East, will take on the #1 seed from the West, the Maryville College Scots. We look forward to having you back tomorrow, and as always, take care.